Hey you guys, and welcome back to another video. We're going to do a what's for dinner. Now on this night I decided to make pot roast, and this will be my first time making it in the pressure cooker, and I really did love how it turned out and how easy it was and how quick it was. What I'm doing now is peeling my potatoes, and I'm going to get as I'm peeling my potatoes, I'm going to get my pressure cooker ready and put on the browning setting. I'm putting it on the browning setting so that I can sear both sides of the roast. And as I do that, I'm cutting up my veggies, which was the onions, the potatoes, and the carrots. I do apologize because I didn't realize my camera battery died and I thought it was recording the whole time. So this is where you're coming in at with me putting the veggies in there. I do add seasoned salt, pepper, a lot of pepper because I do like pepper. Let me see, I added seasoned salt, pepper, garlic powder, Lipton onion soup mix, and a little turmeric, and also Italian seasoning to my pan. What I also did was make sure that some of my veggies was up under the meat to give it a good roasting flavor. And then I filled the container about halfway full with water. I put it on 25 and I set it to go. When I was about 9 minutes left to cook, I went ahead and I started getting my green beans ready for this. Now, all I did for my green beans was get them ready and I seasoned those. And the way I seasoned those, I just added butter, paprika, seasoned salt. I'm sorry, I didn't add paprika. It was Cayenne seasoning. And then I also added Italian seasoning, and that's it. And I let that steam. And this is what we had for dinner that night. It turned out delicious and I loved it. And I forgot to show me plating, but I did take a picture. Now here's a quick disclaimer. I don't cook every night. I always try to cook big meals so that we have leftovers, because this month of November was busy. This is when you're seeing this video in November. So it was so busy. So for our next dish, I actually did grilled chicken Parmesan. And I used tomato sauce from Aldi's. I got 2 cans of diced tomatoes, 1 can of tomato sauce, and I also added in parsley, Italian seasoning, seasoned salt, a little bit of turmeric, some cayenne seasoning, and garlic powder. And I also added in sugar to cut down on the tang of the tomatoes. And as I let that simmer, I'm going to go ahead and get my chicken prepared and seasoned up. So I'm using cayenne seasoning again, turmeric, Italian seasoning, parsley. I'm making sure I put oil in there, a little bit of seasoning salt, garlic powder, and then I'm just mixing that in good. I already had my pot of water sitting on the stove boiling so I could add my spaghetti noodles in there. So while I was letting my griddle heat up, I started putting in my noodles to go ahead and prepare those for when everything was ready and ready to be assembled. Now, on this particular night, this was one of Maria's nights where she was doing the play, and I wanted to make sure I had something good for them to eat and everything, because November we did eat out a lot more than usual, and I don't like to spend excess money eating out like that. So this was one of those nights where I was trying to make sure I cooked dinner and we took it up there. Now, what you saw me do was add my pasta sauce to my noodles. I don't add it at the bottom because I just kind of don't like it that way. And I don't add it separate. I'd rather have it all assembled together. I did not get a chance to record me adding the chicken and the mozzarella cheese on top, but I was recording me putting it in there. And here is the finished product. As you'll see, I put it in a to-go container so that me and the kids could eat before her show and have dinner together. Now that one had no pictures, so what you're going into now, we have the pressure cooker out again, which I love this machine. It is so easy and makes life so much simpler. So I'm doing sausage, bell peppers, and onions and potatoes, and it's a one pot dish. So all I'm doing is cutting everything up into bite-sized pieces, and I'm putting it into my pressure cooker. And after I put them into my pressure cooker, I add in the water, and it's very about half a cup of water, and that's all you need. That is all you need. After I added half a cup of water, I added in my seasoning. The seasoning that I added in for this was seasoned salt, turmeric, Italian seasoning, and garlic powder and pepper, and that's it for this dish. And then after that, we were ready to eat, and it was a one pot simple meal. Okay, you guys, let me explain. This past November was busy. So we did a lot of eating out, and I had to try to make meals. I didn't even get a chance to meal plan or make a menu on what I was going to cook. So what you're seeing me do is really try to get meals done that we always keep in our arsenal for my kids so that we can have something to eat. Between doing her play and everything, it really took a lot of time out of us. So the next meal you're seeing me prepare is the balsamic, no, I'm sorry, it's called Caprese Chicken. And what I'm doing is cutting my chicken breast in half, the thick ones I'm cutting in half, and then I'm going to season those. What I used to season those were Italian seasoning, parsley, a little bit of seasoned salt, garlic powder, and that was it, because I did not want the balsamic glaze to be overpowered by the seasoning of the chicken. And then I added a little bit of olive oil to it. I added olive oil in my skillet, and I grilled all of my pieces on both sides with a nice crisp browning. After I did that, the sides that we have for this meal were mashed potatoes and broccoli. It was steamed broccoli. Now, with the mashed potatoes, I'm going to show you how I make it. So all I did was just cut everything up and get it ready. So you're seeing that right now. And then I'm going to go ahead and get ready to prepare my balsamic glaze. So as I cut my mashed potatoes up, my potatoes up to make mashed potatoes, I'm sorry, I'm getting all that prepared and ready. And this was actually one of our more relaxed days where we didn't have to do too much, because we didn't have a play, I didn't have an order. It was a good day of the week. It was actually at the beginning of the week with this one. Now, the meals that you see me doing, they were not done in 1 week. This was over a course of 2 weeks of me preparing these meals, and I didn't include all of them, but I just included what I recorded because, again, this was a very, very busy week for us. So after I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and dice up some fresh tomatoes, and I'm going to dice those in fine sections, and then I'll come back on and tell you how I'm making the balsamic glaze. After I finish dicing my tomatoes, I go ahead and make my balsamic glaze for my chicken. It's nothing but 2 tablespoons of brown sugar and 1/3 cup of balsamic vinegar. Now, you also add garlic, but what I like to do is remove my chicken from the pan and I drain it. Then I add the garlic into my pan and I let it cook for just a little bit, not burning, but just cook for a little bit. Then I add my glaze. On this day, I did a double portion because I really like the taste of the glaze with the chicken. You go ahead and add your chicken back to your skillet and you turn it on both sides so it can saturate the balsamic glaze. After I've done that, I turn my oven off, I spray my pan down, and I add the chicken to my pan and I pour the rest of the glaze on there. Now, you can use fresh mozzarella, but I had shredded, so I just topped my chicken with shredded mozzarella, and then I add the diced tomatoes with dried parsley and I stick that in the oven. Now, I already have my potatoes boiling, so I can go ahead and do my mashed potatoes. And now I'm adding my broccoli to my steamer, and you see me make my broccoli before. Now with my mashed potatoes, all I did was drain the water off, and then I put in some milk, butter, a little bit of butter, and some sour cream into my pot, and then I added my salt and pepper because I don't add too much salt or pepper. I let the kids and myself do it to taste, and then I let that cook for a little bit, but because of the magic of a video I can edit that. I mash it with a potato masher, but then I go back in with a mixer and I blend it up real good. I just like the smooth creaminess of it. I also add a little bit of milk when needed because I don't like it too thick, but I don't like it too thin. By the time I finished doing this and the broccoli steamed, the chicken was done. So all we had to do next was just make our plates and get ready to eat. This is one of my family's favorite meals, you guys, so I hope you really enjoyed it. Alright, let me know in the description box if you would like me to start including more recipes. But other than that, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.